Ryan Murray done anything to make you think he's not ready to play in the NHL?
I mean, there are still some things. I mean, he's mature for his age and for his experience playing at this level. But I think there's some youthful mistakes and things, just the speed of the game and those things. And a lot of times you can just through whether it's practices or games, the experience that you get, you're able to I was going to use the word adapt to the pace of the game and to the NHL style. So he's still got some growing to do. You know, puck plays and just the game moves faster and it's starting to move faster. The Carolina game, I thought, you know, having witnessed the Buffalo and the Pittsburgh game here, Carolina game was by far the fastest game that we've been a part of so far. So then, and I'm guessing this Pittsburgh game is going to be that way. I think this will be their fourth or fifth game, and I think they're only playing 6 games. So they're going to have, I'm guessing, a good part of their lineup in this game on Saturday, and it'll be a good test to see players like Millard and you know, Timmy Erickson and Savvy and Ryan Murray play in this game, because this is what you're going to see during the regular season.
Why you kind of paired him so far with Wiz? What's the thinking behind that? Wiz in particular with Murray.
You know, it's just the other pairs right now. For me, it's you know, to me, Toots and Jack were a really solid pair for us last year, and you had Nicky with Prouder, and you know, I think there are times through training camp that you're looking for matchups, and I'm talking pairs matchups and line matchups. But I think you also have to take into consideration the team that you had last year and the pairs that you had, or even the lines up front. So, you know, not that we're going into the season with that's the way it's going to go, but I think we've given it a lot of thought that those were good sets for us. And Wiz, I think, can complement any of the guys that, if it does go that way, whether it's a Timmy Erickson or a Savard or whomever it is.
Certainly looks like Prout's going to be ready now, doesn't it?
It does. It does. You know, it's going to be still catch up a bit for him, because when you miss that many days, especially the intensity early on in training camp, you know, and he hasn't played any games yet, and he'll get into a couple, but you know, I would have loved to have seen him play 5 games, you know, but the way it looks, at least the way it's going to shake out here coming down the stretch, he's going to probably play 2.
Talking to Bowl and McKenzie, they both made note of the fact that in a lot of situations, a lot of teams, the fourth line is maybe one guy that you like on the fourth line, but the other guys who don't fit anywhere else. And they like the fact that they feel like they've got a line themselves. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a holding pattern for guys that don't fit, that it's Bowl and it's McKenzie, and then there's another guy there, a really effective line. How much did they show you last year? How much of a weapon did they become for you, and how much are you banking on that being present again this year?
They were, for me last year, in a lot of games, you know, early on when we were still trying to find ourselves as a group, they were the consistent 3 guys, whomever it was, whether it was Mark Letestu or whether it was Colton Gillies on that line. And a lot of times they were the spark that we needed.
Yeah.
You know, they have a real identity to me. You know, they all skate, you know, whoever was on that line, and there's a physicality that they have. Yeah. And you know, there are certain ways that you can turn the momentum of games around, and you know, they were able to do that last year for us. And again, to me, it was a spark. And you watched a lot of our video clips that we had this year in preparation for training camp. A lot of it was those guys doing it the right way.
Right.
You know,
because there were clips to the team. You mean?
Well, yeah, for training camp. You know, just to show a forecheck. You know, a lot of times it was Bowl and Mac and Colton Gillies, just how they pursued the puck and how they worked above. There wasn't a lot of standing and watching. They were always moving their feet. And again, to me, when I look back, a lot of times they don't get a lot of the credit because of they aren't the ones scoring the goals, and you know, it doesn't show up on paper. But to me, they did a lot of really good things for us as far as getting our game turned around last season.